Ranger Puukko, made in Finland. I've been making knives for soldiers. It's quite a long story, so we might as well start with southern Lebanon. I worked there as a military observer, and I noticed that a few of the American officers were carrying these fine-looking Randall-branded knives, which were quite different compared to Finnish knives. Back then, soldiers used these quite ordinary whittling knives. Let's take this one as an example. This has actually been used by the Finnish Defense Forces. Since no one was making knives specifically designed for soldiers, there was a good chance to get hold of a niche market. I had my own knife shop in Fiskars, showcasing my collection of knives. We'd also founded the Finnish Knife Association, which meant that Finnish knife contest knives were also on display. One day, a lieutenant colonel from Sodankylä came by the shop. We started talking, and quite soon, a surprising fact came up. He said that there were no knives in Finland that were good enough for his soldiers. This blade has been made out of 80 CRV2 carbon steel, which is a fine German steel for manufacturing knives, and used by our best knife makers as well. You can tell that the blade's structure is really strong from the way it travels through the handle. Since the knife has been designed for soldiers, it has to be strong. The knife can endure heavy use. You can even make firewood with this one. Then there's the locking mechanism, which is so robust that I doubt there are many Ranger Puukkos in our forests that have dropped from their sheath. We did go through a few iterations before settling with the easy lock roller mechanism. These are used by wilderness trainers and hikers, while hunters prefer a slightly shorter version of the knife. While the knife has been designed with soldiers in mind, they also travel around in forests, which means that the knife doesn't have to be any fancier than a civilian's knife. Since a Ranger Puukko has an official status and an SA number of its own, we were also able to get a NATO stock number for it quite recently, which was a huge breakthrough. I believe this is the first time a Finnish knife has been assigned with a NATO stock number. I want to tell this to the Lieutenant Colonel, because he deserves to hear about how all of this turned out in the end, and get a Ranger Puukko of his own as well, the only knife you'll need. Ranger Puukko.